Hello again, everyone. Age of Dune here, and we are back with something a little different. Completely different, in fact. Alright, so recently, I've been talking to my friends who also play League, and at least one of them's been having at least a decent number of problems, and he's been put down into bronze. So I wanted to go ahead and get a replay of his, just so I can go ahead and just watch him. So I could hopefully give him some pointers as to what is going wrong. I mean, I don't know for sure I'll be able to help all that much, as I myself am only silver, but I may end up being able to help some. So the player in question is actually Leona here, so I'm going to be following her around. As, I am a support main, I should be able to help, and that was my Skype. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I figure I should be able to help at least some, because, it's my role. That is the role that I am best at. So I might be able to help at least some, and hopefully give him some hints, and hopefully improve his game as well. And, it may actually help you guys as well. Anybody of you who are below silver, or even at silver, it may end up helping you guys as well, just because you'll be able to get some hints and tricks from it to see what other bronze players are doing wrong, and possibly either to capitalize on it, or just to make sure you don't do it. So, lots of pings here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get everybody set up. That was my Skype. Again, Lee Sin, let's see. Lee Sin's obviously jungle. Not sure what's going on here. Oh, this is the one he said that Katarina actually did not connect for the first 5 minutes or something. So that definitely sucks. That is going to definitely put them quite a bit behind. Having a DC player, it really messes games up. But even with that, I should be able to give some analysis of at least the bot lane, just to see what was going on. Not sure what this Trist is doing. Looks like she was just going over here, checking stuff out. Didn't get grabbed by Thresh, thankfully for her, because if she had, she'd probably be dead. But Lee Sin's hanging around here, waiting for some help, and they are indeed coming. I'm not sure where Heimer's going to go. My guess would be he's going to go top. We're going to have Katarina mid, Tristana ADC, Leona as support, and Lee Sin as the jungle. Whereas on this team, definitely Darius top, Sion probably mid, Trundle in the jungle? Yep, Trundle jungle, Jinx as the AD carry, and Thresh as the support here. So we'll see what happens there. I do like the little bit they did there for him, giving him a nice little leash there. Little bit of damage there onto Leona, but not really a big deal. It's a little dangerous of Tristana to walk this way. But, I mean, honestly, even that is not that big of a deal. I do it myself fairly often. So, let's go ahead and see how this laning phase goes. Darius has already done a lot of damage up there. There goes the Thresh pull there. And Leona's going to go ahead and stun the Jinx. I do actually like that, but Thresh is actually getting a lot of damage in here on Tristana. But now they're kind of turning this around, and Leona and Tristana actually got that heal there. Jinx is trying to chase down the Tristana. The stun should be up very shortly. Yeah, it is up, actually. So she's going to go ahead and stun that. A little bit late, but that's okay. And there's the grab there from Thresh, but that's really no big deal. Leona getting grabbed is not a huge deal, whereas somebody like Tristana being grabbed, that is definitely a big deal. But see what ends up happening here. The bot lane for the red team actually did come out a bit ahead in that engagement, but hopefully for the blue team it won't be too big of a bonus there for the red team. One thing that I definitely do notice is that the Thresh is actually doing really well with his harass. I'm kind of curious about the start of Eclipse there second. I don't see that a lot. Usually when you go Leona, you're going to want to go with the grab second, the Zenith Blade. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it in this instance because Leona is not going to be able to go in too much because this Tristana is a little low. But in cases like this, it would be really useful. I mean, at the same time, she did just land her stun there. But had the Jinx been at all smart and kited, that wouldn't have happened. Lee Sin just died as well, but that's not the lane we're worrying about. We are worrying about this lane. So yeah, I definitely question the decision to go for that Eclipse first. I always go for the Zenith Blade. It allows you to close, and it allows you to get in there, stun, and just do damage. And it's definitely a good thing. Whereas, obviously, Eclipse is good for tankiness, but usually you're going to want to go with that third. Thresh trying to get a grab there. Not going to happen. Thresh is actually taking quite a bit of damage, and this is going to give them some time to go in on this. And Trundle's actually coming in. There's the Zenith Blade. Nice Zenith Blade. Stun follows right after. And Tristana actually might be able to finish this off if she had stuck around. But she decided to flash out instead. So Trundle will actually be able to get out of this. And Tristana probably shouldn't have flashed, but she didn't quite trust Leona. And I guess, I mean, it is bronze, so a lot of times you don't want to trust your support. Because it doesn't always go well. But in this case, she probably should have. And it definitely would have turned that into her favor. Jinx just went ahead and flashed there. Nice stun by Leona, making sure that the Jinx does not get to go, but now Leona's being engaged on. Very good eclipse there, making sure that doesn't happen. And we've got Jinx actually fighting in the middle of the minion wave, so that's definitely good. I did notice that there are no wards around here from the blue team, so that's definitely something you want to make sure of. I mean, a ward here is obviously a good thing, but having a ward here would have prevented that Trundle gank, and they would have been able to set up for it or get out of the way so Tristana didn't take quite so much damage. So definitely either ward here or, yeah, at the very least here, just so you've got some vision of river, preventing those jungle ganks. Katarina is now mid, and she is back, which is great. She just got back, so she's definitely going to have a hard time. She is a level 2 Katarina versus a level 6 Scion, and I do not envy her that at all. Trundle's apparently ganking top there. Lee Sin's able to finally go back to his jungle, but, he's definitely got put a bit behind by that as well. Leona probably does not want to go quite that far up. It is actually making Tristana tank this tower wave. I mean, Tristana should have backed off immediately, but you definitely don't want to go in right now. So you want to stay a bit closer to your AD carry. If you notice, Tristana actually took quite a bit of damage there that she really didn't need to. It should have been either tanked there by Leona or just backed off. Also, being that far up allows exactly what happened there. I mean, Tristana's not in range, and Tristana honestly needs to go ahead and farm. So you want to be at around the front part of your minions. If your minions are here, don't be up here. Because if you get engaged on, you're going to go down before your AD carry can get there, because your AD carry has to stay behind the minion wave. But they're actually pushing this quite hard, and it's not really all that surprising. I haven't noticed too much of Targons being used in this instance, so definitely something you want to make sure to do. If you're going to go for that starting relic shield, definitely be sure to use it. When you first start out there, the first wave, you want to use both charges on that first wave, and then don't use it again until you've got a big minion. You need to go ahead and back off. Got hit by that. It's a little unfortunate there, taking a bit of damage. He does have some potions here, which is good. That's definitely good. And there we go. Gonna go ahead and get that Targon's there, I guess. And, oh, nice! Very nice dodge there. And one thing about going for that Eclipse there is it does actually telegraph that you're wanting to do something. If you're gonna play Leona, be sure, if you do end up using that Eclipse like he just did there, be sure to charge in or don't go in at all. I mean, walking after them, you're not going to be able to catch them. Ooh, that stun there, and yeah, gonna go ahead and chase them back. Oh, what you doing? What you doing? Gonna go ahead and try to help the... I don't know, I think you're definitely a bit overextended here, and you probably just died. Because now we've got Thresh and Jinx coming. That was definitely a very deep invade. I don't know, it could end up working out, but honestly, I kind of doubt it. The Katarina's going down there, and... yeah, she's going to go down. Leona's going to try to escape. I don't think she's going to get escaped. She's going to go down as well. Honestly, going for this invade there, not so good of an idea. I mean, yes, the Katarina was there, so he was trying to go ahead and help her. But if we look at it, I mean, let's see, when he decided to go in. Alright, there we go. Katarina's hanging around over here. She is in a very safe position here. She's got vision, and there's really nothing that the red team can do. And then now you saw the Leona come up. It did chase the enemy away, but it also made the Katarina a little brave, and it got the Leona massively out of position there. So you don't want to go this deep this early in the game for sure, especially when you know that there are multiple of the enemy team. You knew the Trundle was here, and you know that the bot lane is actually alive. If the bot lane had been dead or back, it actually would have been fine to do that. But in this case, the bot lane was sitting there farming. So going up there for an invade, very bad idea. The Katarina could have escaped by herself with no problem. So going in hardcore like that as a Leona, not a very good idea, because Leona does not really have much in the way of escapes. So you definitely don't want to go for that. Alright, in the meantime, the Tristan's going to go ahead and farm up here. Exactly what she should do. And try to make sure that the Jinx actually stays way behind. Which actually she is. She is at 29 CS. She did get a BF sword off of that. But it looks like she also sold her Dorange, which is kind of funky. Can't say I agree with that one, but it's definitely a good thing for the blue team that she did. Alright, so Leona is coming back to lane. One thing I noticed, you're still sitting on the Relic Shield. In my opinion, it is better to upgrade to the level 2 before you get the Sightstone. Simply because of the fact that level 2 is where these gold generation items really kick in. They, Riot originally nerfed, especially Relic Shield. They nerfed Relic Shield so that it doesn't kick in until level 2 quite as hard. Like the cooldown there on the Execute, it's halved. I mean, yeah, it's halved when you switch from the level 1 to the level 2 thing. So, by hanging out on the level 2 one, you're actually really hurting yourself. At the same time, I mean, Sightstone's really good to have. It is a lot of gold per 10 if you're using all 3 wards. If you're not using all 3, then it's really not worth it. Also, be sure to sell that warding totem. I myself have a pretty big problem with that. I always forget it. Yeah. Again, going Eclipse and then chasing them, not a good idea. If you start with that Eclipse, if you're gonna go in, then use the Eclipse and then immediately use that Zenith Blade to go in. If you're gonna receive a lot of harass for some reason, then yeah, popping that Zenith Blade, like right then, that was a great time to pop it there. And he's actually taking quite a bit of damage, but at the same time, Tristana is getting a lot as well. And very nice there. Tristana went and flashed out. The Thresh may end up getting a kill here on Leona, but hopefully not. Lee Sin's coming around from behind, so even if he does get a kill on Leona, it's not going to help him. And there we go, Lee Sin's coming in, and he's going to go in on the Thresh. This is not going to go well at all for Thresh. And, oh, nice kick there from the Lee Sin. And Leona's actually coming in, as is Tristana. They're going to go for this. Tristana actually got the tower hit there, and Katarina's going to get that kill, which is actually a good thing, honestly. I mean, Katarina getting the kills is great, especially in Bronze, where Katarinas can just carry so hard late game. And now they're going to go for this tower, which I definitely can't agree with. Either go for the tower or go for the dragon at the point. And honestly, at this point in time, I think the tower is probably a little bit better. Because not sure when exactly the dragon gold really kicks in. Now would have been a great time for them to also go for that dragon. They know that the Thresh is still gone. At least I think they know that. As I think he just popped up. And there's nobody around. So that actually would have been a pretty decent time for them to do it. Instead, the Lee Sin decided to go ahead and hang around here. He got caught. Was forced to ward jump over that wall using up one of his wards. Shouldn't matter too much though, as he probably has a Sightstone. No, he'll be going a Sightstone eventually though. And he's just kind of hanging around. But yeah, they could have probably gotten a free dragon off of that, which would have been good. Honestly, I can't really fault, at very least, I can't really fault Leona too much because in Bronze, you're not going to see people go for the dragon nearly as often as they should. So, it's really hard to get them to do that as well. There we go. There's the ward there from the Thresh. Going to go ahead and ward up that jungle. And that would have been a good time. As Leona, I'm pretty sure that you were able to see... Let's see. Alright, so when you see your enemy support walk up towards the jungle, or towards the river like that, you can pretty much count on them actually setting up for a ward. So what you want to do is, if you see that happen, go ahead and just ping it. Just ping that and just type ward. So that your allies know, especially, your jungler and stuff, they know that is warded, so if they come in for a gank, it's gonna stop. It's gonna be visible to them. So definitely pinging that ward is a good thing to do. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. Anytime you see the Thresh or your enemy support walk away, know that they're probably warding. There we go. Looks like Lee Sin gonna go ahead and go steal blue, interestingly. He abandoned the tower. Can't say I agree with that decision. He probably could have saved that had he stuck around. But honestly, he's not the one we're reviewing here. So we'll just kind of leave that be. Thresh grab comes out. Leona's doing kind of interesting things. I'm not sure exactly what he was doing there. And there's that Eclipse followed by the walk forward again. Not really going to help you at all. It did kind of help zone the enemy, but again, oh, now he engages. That was, I don't know. Nice ulti there. I did like the ulti, but it was a little too far forward by that time. The Tristana wasn't there, and now we've got the Trundle coming in from behind, as well as the Scion. They were too far extended for this. And now we've got a massive engage. They are going to go ahead and take down the Trundle. Leona actually got the kill there. And it looks like Jinx is going to go down as well. So it ended up being so far a 2 for 2. If these two can escape, it'll remain a 2 for 2. Katarina is going to go ahead and try to take down the Thresh. I think she actually will be able to do it. So this may actually end up being worth it. If she could take this down. She's going to get stunned there, though, and she's going to go down instead. Tristana should be able to take down the Thresh. Had she turned around and auto-attack, she actually would have finished him off. And there we go. She is going to do it. So that ended up being a 3 for 3. Never mind, because Katarina's still not dead yet. So as of right now, that is a 3 for 2, but she didn't run. Now she's gone. So yeah, that ended up being a 3 for 3. It was a good attempt, though, to escape. Tristana's sitting here on a ward. Very dangerous, and she's probably about to end up dead. Sion's closing on her. There is the Jinx, and yeah, she's gonna go down there. So yeah, definitely don't want to go back there. But what can you do, you know? Alright, so Leona is on the way back to lane. Got that Targon's Brace now, which is great. Again, I think you probably want to go for that earlier. But, you know, not much you can do about it now. It's already done. So, I do like that he went ahead and went for that now. Because, you know, like I said, the cooldown is 30 seconds, whereas I think with the Relic Shield, it's every 60 seconds, which is huge. And then it also allows you to get up to 3 charges, which helps a lot as well. And then you're also gonna want to go for the fully upgraded version to get you even more stacks of it. Eventually. I do like the chain vest here. I think it would have been better to rush for a Lock of the Iron Solari here. Because of the fact that, I mean, actually, I don't know. I mean, they do have a lot of AD, honestly. That was a little bit dangerous there. How did he get that far out? Alright, so there's that. He did go ahead and do some damage there to the minions. Tristana's nowhere near. Oh, he got pulled there by Thresh. You definitely don't want to get between Thresh and the minions, because, yeah, that just did a lot of damage there. And that was definitely a bit of a mistake. Nice flash there, dodging that ult. But if you hadn't gotten hit by the grab there from Thresh, you wouldn't have needed it. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, they do actually have pretty heavy AD. I guess the only AP they have is Scion. I mean, Scion is massive damage dealer, though. So, I don't know. I guess armor for now is probably the better decision, honestly. Jinx is pretty nasty, as especially Darius and stuff. But at the same time, if you look at the scoreboard, you've got a 7-0-1 Scion. Their most fed member is AP. So going something like the Lock of the Iron Solari, not only does that get you the magic resist to fight against him, but it also goes ahead and gets you the armor. So that would actually help. I think it builds out a cloth, and now they're actually going in on this. Nice decision there to Eclipse there, giving him that extra tankiness. And his ult is up, yes? Yeah, it is up. So if they do decide to go for this, right around now, you're probably not going to want to. Actually, I don't know. Honestly, Tristana should be able to take down a Jinx. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. And Jinx has a really nasty early game, whereas Tristana not so much. Got grabbed there. Nice little thing there. You want to go ahead and use the ulti a little bit sooner there. And now he uses the ulti. Probably should have used it when they were grouped right here, because that actually might have been able to do quite a bit more damage to them and lock them both in place for a bit longer. But right now, we've got Lee Sin doing the dragon here, so you definitely want to make sure that your enemy bot lane does not start heading that way. So they're doing it right about now. Oh, that miss there from that Jinx. And don't get too far forward. You are way too low to get too far forward right now. And you probably want to go ahead and back off this tower, but they're not. There's a good stun there from Leona. Missed the Zenith Blade there. Going in on the Jinx, unfortunately she hadn't dealt any damage, so she's not going to end up going down. And don't continue chasing this. Oh, Lee Sin's coming in. I guess it's not such a bad thing with Lee Sin coming in like that. Down goes the Jinx. Down goes the Thresh. So that was a double kill. That actually probably was worth it. I tend to not go in just because I don't count on my allies. But as Lee Sin was heading there, that definitely was the right call. But now is the good time to go ahead and back off. You are low, and Tristan is pretty low. So you definitely want to fall back here, especially since you're this low. Now the Scion's coming there. He's gonna catch you. Yeah, Scion's gonna go ahead and finish you off there. There was no ward, but it doesn't really matter because he was able to get there. So yeah, you definitely, I don't know. I can definitely see what he was doing there. Gonna go ahead and ward this up. But at the same time, you could see beforehand that the enemy mid lane and Trundle were both here, and then they disappeared this way. So when you see something like that, you want to go ahead and back off pretty much immediately when you are that low on health. So definitely watch the other lanes as well to see what's going on with them so that something like that doesn't happen. And now they're going to lose their tower as well. He gets pretty close to going down, but does not actually go down. And he is going to live. They're going to take this tower, indeed. Yeah, they've had a decent number of decent team fights that may be able to turn this back in their favor. Oh, the flash there from Katarina. Oh, he was able to get out, and she's going to end up going down here. Probably not her best decision there. Jumping in 3 versus 1. Yeah, not so good. But fortunately for the blue team, they've already got the dragon that the red team is now headed to. So the red team will not be able to do that. And Lee Sin's actually going for that tower up in mid. Leona gonna go ahead and board up Tribush here. I can't say I blame her too much. One thing I often do as well is go ahead and put a ward here, starting around now. Once the enemy starts roaming around a lot, you're gonna want to put a ward here, here, sometimes here anyway, and almost always here. Honestly, if you've got this warded and this warded, you're going to know pretty well where the enemy is unless the wave is pressed all the way up there. Because you're going to see them in your minions. So, a lot of times, starting around here, don't ward up Tribush anymore. But they are actually sticking with a laning phase. So, with that being the case, they actually are going to have to. Tristana's going to go ahead, face check this bush, and die. Leona, right about then, I would have gone ahead and ultied there. As soon as you saw them both together, start off with that ulti, get that CC down, and then you can go ahead and come in with the Zenith Blade. If you follow through with the Zenith Blade, then you know it's going to land, because they're not going to be moving after you've already ultied them. Instead of starting and trying with the Zenith Blade has a much shorter range as well. So, when Tristana walked into that bush, you see her right here, walking into that bush. Let's slow it down a little bit. There we go. They're waiting in the bush. Okay, so right about here, if you look, I don't think we can see the range. Right around here, he can use that ulti. He really should have used it right then to go ahead and ulti them. And she punted them back out of the Zenith Blade, which means that Leona has to walk all the way back in here. Had he gone ahead and used that ulti, it would have landed first because he could have had the faster reaction time. That would have hit them, and then the Tristana ult would have hit them. And they both... I don't know that they would have been able to get out. They probably still would have died, but it would have been more likely, and they honestly might have ended up turning out with at least a kill, if not a double kill escape for them. Katarina gonna go down here. So yeah, definitely, in my opinion, if the enemy is grouped like that, you're definitely gonna want to lead with the... Oh, nice! Down goes the Trundle. Lead with the ult instead of leading with Zenith Blade, because the Zenith Blade is a whole lot harder to do. It really is, because you've got to land it, and it's not often going to happen. Oh, Scion barely escaped that. One more tower shot, he would have been gone, but he knew he was fine. There we go. Tristana going in. She's going to go ahead and finish him off. Very good move on her part, taking that down. And now everybody's together. Around now, the teams really should be grouping, especially the blue team here. They're having problems already. They've got this bot lane tower. Nice interrupt there. Nice flash there. Gonna go ahead and dodge out of that. And these guys are actually okay. Face of the Mountain has been acquired here for Leona, which is a good item indeed. I, a lot of times, don't go for the Greater Vision Totem at all. But I guess I can see it. Going ahead and putting on those pinks. Oh, not a good idea by Lee Sin. Going in way too deep here. He's going to go down, but it was a 1-for-1 so far. Actually, no, he is going to escape this. Leona ulti coming out a little late again. They weren't grouped anymore, but it's going to be okay. And they're going to be able to zone this. Don't... Aw. Okay, he took some damage there under the tower. Not a good idea, because now the tower's on him. He's going to go down now. And... Lee Sin ended up going down there to sign. Good ulti there from Tristana. Unfortunately, she was already ignited, so she ended up going down. Now in comes the Heimerdinger, and that ended up being a bit of a throw. The W there from Leona probably ended up hurting her more than it helped her. You don't want to go ahead and use that W, especially right around, you know, if you look at the entire fight here. I did not mean to go that far forward. Back, I mean. Pushed the wrong button. Whoops. Alright, so here they are. They do actually get the kill there onto the Jinx, which is great. And that meant that Lee Sin went ahead and ran away. So that's good. And they're doing quite a bit of damage here. The ulti coming out just on Thresh, not really so great of a thing. It did actually hit the Darius as well, but it could have been placed a little bit more here and hit both of them a little better. And there we go. He's going in. Use that W. You don't want to chase after the enemy now. The W does not do enough damage for that. And it's going to put the tower on you instead of the minions. Katarina also went forward from that, which is not a good idea. But you still got Leona tanking that tower, and now she's going to end up going down. Whereas, had she not done that, might have been able to escape that. And he does still escape it. But, I don't know. It probably would have been better to go ahead and keep back, because I think that the Katarina actually walked in because he saw, or she saw, the Leona go ahead and do some damage there. And a lot of times that's a sign for other people, hey, look, somebody's doing damage, I'm going to go do damage too. Whereas, if you start backing off, a lot of times, not 100%, but a lot of times, your allies will also start backing off. Especially when you're somebody like Leona or, you know, any of the tanks like that. They see their tank back off, they're probably going to back off as well. And you don't want to get under that tower fighting there and taking damage. Going for the Trundle now. Missed the Zenith Blade there. I think... No, Trundle didn't use his flash. And they're continuing to follow here, which is not a good idea. In comes the Scion. Katarina's going to go down. And, yeah, there's not much that Leona could do about that. As her ulti just now coming off a cooldown. So... Oh, now Lee Sin is also a bit trapped here. Yeah, very nice of the Leona to get there in range to go ahead and stop that. But, Lee Sin, unfortunately, still ended up going down. Nice flash there, and down goes the Trundle to the Heimerdinger, which is not bad at all. They still, I think, got blue off of that. Although Heimer got to steal it. And now these guys are continuing to chase here. Heimer should be okay, though. And Leona's going up there. Now he's coming around from behind, a little bit out of position there. And he's probably going to end up dying due to his pathing there. If you see... Let's see. We'll go ahead and follow him here. So he decided to go up here. So around here, you know it's too late for you to even try to help the Heimerdinger. You don't want to come back down this way. If you come back down this way, exactly what happened is going to happen. Because you've got an entire enemy team between you and the tower, and they've got a lot of CC. So, had he gone ahead and hung around here and gone back here, he actually probably would have survived. And really, it looked like they were going to walk away. So that actually would have been even better. Because then he could have gotten away from it and gotten back out there with no problem whatsoever. Thresh going in there. Going to go ahead and go in on the Katarina. She gets stunned. She's going to go down as well. But yeah, definitely you don't want to walk towards 4 of the enemy team when they're between you and the tower, because it's not going to turn out well for you at all. Just go back up here or just walk the other way. Something, anything to go ahead and stay away. Ooh, Scion has a lot of damage there. And he's going to go ahead and finish off that Tristana. Nice kick there from Lee Sin. Getting that shut down, though. And down he goes. Leona's back. Heimerdinger's back. Lee Sin going a bit hardcore here. But they are going to go ahead and get this Thresh down. And the Q comes out. Lands onto the Jinx. Nice Leona ult. Went ahead and slowed her at least. Missed the Zenith Blade, unfortunately. But the stun still comes out. And I think the Jinx may end up going down to this. But in comes the Darius. And that might actually change here. The passive comes out from Leona. Don't chase the Jinx. As your support, you really should have stuck around here and tried to help that Heimerdinger. Let's see. Let's see the cooldowns to see if there was anything you could do. Even just being there. Alright, let's see. Yeah, you could have stunned right here. And the Darius would not have been able to do anything for a little bit. Or, you know, even if not that, at the very least, a lot of times having two people there is going to go ahead and chase them away. Whereas, in this case, the Darius knew he was fine. Because Leona went ahead and headed up here. And now he got another kill there. Trundle's just kind of chilling here. Nice Zenith Blade combo there. Going to go ahead and do a lot of damage here to Trundle. Trundle is actually going to survive it, though. It is the tank there. And, oh, okay, so he does finally manage to take him down there. So that's not too shabby, although it's definitely not ideal either. Tristana probably should have done a little bit better on the kiting there. And then as a Leona, you're going to want to peel as much as possible, but honestly, there wasn't too much more peeling you could do as the Leona. Just going to go ahead and farm this up. Lots of stacks there. Indeed. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fall back, it looks like. Probably could have pressed it a little bit more, but I guess it's not too terrible of a thing. It is actually going to be a... No, it's going to be pressing towards the blue team. But he's going to go back now. Does not have blue boots yet. That is one thing I'm seeing. Not really liking the lack of boots. Also, no MR versus the Scion. Scion does a lot of damage in this game. So you're definitely going to want to have some... There we go. Now we've got boots. If he had them before and I didn't notice, then I'm going to just kind of facepalm. But, yeah. Boots are definitely important. Going... Big fight there. Not so good by Tristana jumping in there. But they do manage to go and take him out. Trundle's doing some damage. Not so good of an ulti there by the Leona. But, you know, fat fingers happen. So they do manage to take him down. And now they're going in after the Trundle. Them being here should actually force... Yeah, they do manage to take down the Trundle. Because there are 3 of them here. And that is the 3 versus 1. So that was definitely well played by all of them there. I did like that. The only thing I didn't like was Tristana jumping in right on top of the Scion. Not really a good idea. But around now, honestly, in a bronze game or silver game, probably gold too. I mean, I play with gold. They're not even far enough away to really have a huge lead for the red team. I mean, it honestly is a pretty big lead, but at our level of play, it's not at all insurmountable. People throw it all the time, and we've been seeing it from the red team, quite a bit of throwing here. But, I mean, it's what, 7k difference? It looks like a lot because it's 20 to 37. But, again, keep in mind that kills, death, assists, or, you know, kills versus kills, not the biggest thing in the world. It's really not. I like the ward there, going ahead warding over that wall there just to make sure. And Jinx is actually going to go ahead and go for Leona. Definitely don't want to walk that way. Oh, going in on the Jinx now, though. Nice stun there of her. Now out comes the ulti. Usually you want to hit it a little sooner, but they are going to be able to take down the Darius at least. So that's something. Dragon went down indeed. Now Tristana jumped in. Out comes the Thresh. Does not land. And now we've got the mass damage there from the Scion going in. That is another thing that really... Oh, good dodge there by the Leona. Another thing that's really good about the Lock of the Iron Solari, because of the fact that, you know, it does give the MR for your entire team. And against somebody like Scion, who does massive AoE magic damage, Locket is going to help you a lot. So, you definitely do want to get that. Boots of Swiftness with the Home Guard. I definitely like the Home Guard enchant. These guys are just being kind of crazy here. Not sure what's going on with that. I haven't noticed, actually, any use of the Greater Vision Totem there. I could be wrong, but I have not seen any pink wards come out from that whatsoever. I don't know what these guys are doing, but in goes Leona. They're going to go for this. Probably not the best decision, actually, because these guys don't have a gap closer. So, yeah, he's forced to flash of that wall. Tristana shouldn't have gone in. Let's see, wow. Is there a ping or something that made her decide to do that? Okay, she jumped in onto Scion. Already knew that was a bad idea, and it probably was not the best idea from Leona to go ahead and follow that through. You have gap closers, your allies don't really. I mean, Katarina does. Katarina can get in there. but he was just forced to blow his flash. Tristana was definitely in the wrong there going for that, but, I mean, can't really follow through with one person doing wrong by doing it yourself. Not really going to help anything. Lee Sin versus Trundle. Trundle's going to win that. Yeah, Trundle did indeed. They're getting a kill down here, but lots of people here, and there's a double kill there for the Jinx. So them being around here is not a good idea. Probably, you know, try to issue the back ping there when you're going back like that. A lot of times people don't pay attention to what you're doing. So when you do the back ping, not spam it. I don't mean spam it, but just, you know, hit it once. Just say, let them know, hey, I'm gone. So be very cautious. At the very least, you know, it'll help you some. And good use there. I did notice he was pushing a little bit too hard given the fact that the Tristana was coming. You want to go ahead and save your stuff until they actually get within range. And definitely be there for the Darius if the Darius decides to go in. Did not, and there we go. But yeah, save your auto attacks. Don't push ridiculously hard when you see Tristana already on the way until she gets within range so that your Targons can get the... You can use the Targon stack. And again there, walked away before the final Targon stack was gone. So definitely be sure to use those because those are really, really useful. I do like that he's going up here. I'm going to go ahead and try to help them take him down. Trundle goes down without Leona's help though. And going to go ahead and ward up Baron, which is a really good idea. No, not warding up Baron. Around now, I almost always have at least one ward on Baron because people like to try to sneak Baron here. Going now, landing an ultimate right now would have been great. But again, you tried leading with that Zenith Blade. The Solar Flare at the very least would have forced a flash. And they actually didn't have flash, so they could not have gotten out of that. Had he shot... See, right here. Alright, right around here. They're both together. There's the flash there from Thresh. Solar Flare right there. Had he gone for that even... either there or there, he would have hit it on Jinx, and then he could have gone for the Zenith Blade. So definitely want to use your ult a little more aggressively a lot of times. Use it to engage instead of mid-battle AoE stun for one person. And now we've got the red team all together again, and the blue team's on the run here. Very little that they're going to be able to do. And there we go. Down goes Tristana because Scion is nasty. Definitely want to go ahead and try to just save the Trist. Keep that Trist alive. And Trist is actually still alive there. Lee Sin's going in on the Darius there. And... oh, down goes the Darius. Don't... oh, crap. He went for that. And now Darius is going to take him down. Tristana's going to go down to the Jinx there. Yeah, it was way too late for that. And going for that Zenith Blade in... not a good idea. Keep in mind, Zenith Blade itself doesn't stun. All it is a root. So even if he had landed it just before Lee Sin died, Lee Sin still would have died because he was in range of that ulti, which was already coming out. So probably you definitely don't want to go in on that. Could have immediately landed the stun, but even then, Darius was still going to finish him off. There we go. That did give them the opportunity to go ahead and get that tower and the inhibitor, and if they want, they can continue pushing this. It looks like Scion went ahead and shoved top. Trundle is indeed going to continue pushing this. He's going to go for this tower. He may end up getting it before he dies. No, he's going to go down. There was a little bit too much in the way of stuns, but Scion and Thresh are getting this tower. Not going to get it all the way, but these guys are not actually pushing the minions back, so the tower actually will go down. Maybe not because there are minions there. But they're kind of extended. They do manage to take down the Scion, which is good. And Thresh is actually going to escape this. Tower doesn't go down, but it got really close. And they did get a kill on Scion, which is definitely good. So I guess it's not such a bad thing. Not such a bad thing. Still have not seen a pink... there's the pink ward. Unfortunately, you just saw the enemy here. Putting down a pink ward now. It's going to be gone instantly. It's just going to be free gold for your enemy. So, definitely don't want to put a pink ward when you just saw the enemy there. Green ward, yes, because there's stealth. Pink ward, no. Ooh, missed that, unfortunately, but Tristana may be able to take this. In fact, oh yeah, there's the stun, or the slow there from that. Thresh is still pretty annoying, though. Oh. Not bad. Thresh still goes down there. Leona actually got the kill. And apparently that was the sudden Baron call on accident, and they're going to follow through with this. Leona, as a Leona, you want to get there if they're going for this. Zenith Blade does not bring you to minions. So going and trying to Zenith Blade over the wall, not going to work. There you go. And you just want to get in range to go ahead and use your passive there. There you go. There is Baron down. And one thing about Leona is her passive works really well to make the Baron go down super fast. Well, not really super fast, but it does help a lot because, you know, just casting the abilities on it does work. It plinks it and makes it explode more. So there we go. They're going to try to take down this Trundle. I think he is indeed going to go down, but the tower is going to go down as well. And Trundle's going to do his best to get out, but I think he's still going to go down. He does indeed go down to the Tristana, which is great for them. And that means this is currently a 4 versus 5 as soon as Katarina gets up. They just got a lot of gold there from Baron, but they don't want to push yet. Don't push until you see all of your guys together, because you can win a 5 versus 4. You're probably not going to be able to win a 4 versus 4 right now, because that Scion is way too fed. I'm still not seeing any MR there. I would say definitely try to get that Lock of the Iron Solari against a team like this, where you've got an enemy with a lot of magic damage, because that would have helped a lot. And now he's going to go down, unfortunately. And he only hit, from the looks of it, that ulti there onto one person. But they are going to take down the Jinx, which is great. And they may end up being able to take down the Darius as well. Scion was able to get the Tristana, however, but he's going to go down to the Katarina. And that's almost an ace. Now would be a great time for the blue team to go ahead and push. Yes, I do like the fact somebody pinged it, and they are going for this. Trundle is up, but they're going to be able to get this tower at very least. There we go. They're going for it. Do not fight the Trundle. It looks like they are going for the tower, which is exactly what they need to do. Then they can go for the Trundle. And that's exactly what they did there. Did some damage to him. Don't... okay, he might be able to follow through with this, but I don't think it'll go out well for him. He was forced to flash out indeed. And thankfully he missed that Q, otherwise he probably would have followed it through. Don't go for that. Take the tower, then take the inhib, because you've got the time. There we go. They are indeed taking the inhib, and they're going to go for that. It's going to offset the enemy inhib, and their inhib's going to respond soon. I do like that Leona's down there, going to go ahead and push that back. He knows he's not going to get there in time to do anything, so going ahead and shoving that back is really a good idea, because it pushes the minion wave that way, which will offset that. One more wave would actually be a very good idea. There you go. Going to go ahead and shove that forward. That'll push it towards the enemy, and it'll make it continue to go towards them. His team was actually able to escape that as well, so all in all, that was a great little bit of an engagement there. They definitely came out ahead, and if you notice, the gold gap, 6k. That's all it is. Really, right around here, you didn't need to continue pushing. It wasn't necessary. It's not really a terrible thing either, but it wasn't really necessary. But definitely want to go back, and hopefully he'll be able to get back in time. I think he will, honestly. Katarina will as well. They need to defend this inhib. She's back. Tristana's on her way back, but they were a little too far out. Leona going a little too hardcore here. Gonna go ahead and land that root there on Darius, though. And again, don't ulti one person. If you can get ulti multiple people with a Leona ult, definitely good. And now he's going a little too hardcore there. He's going to go down. He does indeed. Did tank a lot beforehand, but he still ended up going down there when he didn't really need to. Q comes out from Lee Sin. He's going to get the kill there onto Darius. And Katarina decided to dive in, and that may end up being the loss. Tristana's going to go down here. And yeah, there's still 3 guys up on the enemy team. One thing I did notice in this fight. Okay, so they're at the inhibitor, yes, and they are going in on the inhibitor. You've got 3 people here. Don't go for them yet. Don't go in. Going in is just gonna get you killed. There are 4 enemies right there. Going in is like the worst thing you could do, because your allies aren't there yet. Again, landing that ulti here would have hit 3 people, which would have stunned them, instead of hitting it onto just the Darius, who is one of the tankier members of the enemy team. Also, don't exhaust the Thresh. Don't waste exhaust on Thresh. Use your exhaust for somebody like Jinx, because that's actually going to be able to help. Jinx is really strong, and shutting her down with an exhaust is very important. But again, honestly, I think the biggest problem with this team fight is that they went in before they were all together. don't go in until your team is all together, because then it ends up being a 4 versus 5. And the biggest decision maker for that one was actually the Leona. So you definitely don't want to go in on that. Just keep an eye on the placement of your team members so that, something like that doesn't happen. Had you waited for the enemy team, you probably could have done it. Honestly, Leona plus Katarina, that is a killer combo. Because Katarina does so much damage, and then Leona is just able to go ahead and ulti them and make sure they don't do anything to her. It would have been great. Oh, is she going to get this? Nope. Zon just comes out. He's going to survive, and that is indeed going to be GG. See, honestly, I think had some of these unwise engagements not occurred, especially that last one right there, the inhib, you might have been able to turn this game around. It was already turning around. You guys caught up big time on the gold, and you were actually really close. The waves are pushing here, so they would have been forced to back off or lose a tower. Either way, it's good for you. So definitely, losing an inhib is not worth losing the game. So it would have been worth just going ahead, backing off the inhib until your entire enemy team is there, and then go in. But that is going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want me to continue things like this, let me know. Maybe I'll see if I can get bronze replays from other people as well and see what they have. So, yep. Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.